And welcome back, everyone. So today we are going to continue with our Reddit clone, and today we are going to build or implement the voting system. So as you can see, if I open one post, there is no voting like here on the left side, and same with all the comments, there are no votes. For example, you can see here there is like 6 votes here, and we don't have this functionality, and I think this is like really important part of Reddit. So let's jump to our comments.js component. Here we have body of our comment, and let's see, I think that the first thing I want to change is like put it up a little bit. So let's do margin top on -4. Yeah, now it looks better. So now we want to put voting mechanism here on the left of the reply button, and also on the main post somewhere here. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, it's on the left of the reply button, and also on the post. The whole post is moved to the right, and there is this, the left part is the voting that we don't have yet. Alright, so let's maybe start with implementing the voting here. So we have test comment 5, and here is the body. Maybe let's see, where's reply button. More comments if there are any replies. There is comment form. Here is the button with the reply. Alright, so on the left side of this, let's do span just with voting as a text. Yeah, so we will put it here. But instead of putting everything here, I will try to create a new component, and I will use it here. So here, alongside our comments.js, I will create new file, and let's call it voting. Yeah, voting.js. And now, as always, just function voting, and it will return a div like this, and here export default voting, and inside this div let's do some let's make it inline, and voting goes here. Now let's try to use this component. Back to comments, and here's our place where we want to put it. So let's do voting. Yeah, voting goes here. Okay, so it works. Now we want to see all the arrows and numbers as we have it here. So we need 2 arrows and a digit or a number of votes, so summary total of the voting, and that's all, just 2 arrows and the number. So let's maybe go to heroicons, and I already checked there is arrow up that we can copy, so we'll copy this. This is arrow up. We also need arrow down. So arrow down, I will copy JSX like this. So we have 2 arrows now, and we also need a number. So let's do maybe span. Let's do 6 here. Okay, now let's see how it looks like. Okay, so we have the arrows, and we have the number. It's not pretty, but it kind of works. Let's see. Maybe we can put both arrows inside a div like this. And now inside those two divs, we can do a class name. And here let's do inline with 10, height of also 10. And let's see, nothing has changed. Let's inspect it here and see. Okay, I think that instead of inline, I should do inline block. Okay, now we have arrows here and the digit is here. I think it's because it's too big. Oops. So instead of 10, I will do maybe 5 and 5. And now it's better. Let's try with 4 and 4. Yeah. Also for the arrows, let's maybe do some better color. So let's do text, Reddit text, and let's try the colors of the reply button. So back to comments, and there's this background text, Reddit text darker. Let's use this one. Okay, and I also want some spacing on the side, so padding X. Let's try with maybe 2. Okay, now for this span, let's make it a div, and let's also do some class name, inline block, and what else do we want here? Yeah, let's remove width 4 on those. Yeah, now it looks better. And padding X from 2, let's change it to 1. Yeah. And what if we do 0? Okay, we don't need padding on the sides. Let's see, now for the voting. Well, it looks good enough, I would say. You can click those, so it's fine. Now I will just make those divs for arrows buttons. So button, and I think I need to add padding on the top and the bottom of 1, or maybe I just need to remove padding. Yeah, or even margin. Is it margin? Okay. Okay, so we have those 2 arrows and also clickable. Let's try to add hover text, and let's do white. Okay, so now when I hover, it's white color. Next, we want to fix the spacing here. So let's see how it looks like. Here we have the SVG. Here is the button. Okay, I think height of 4 is too small for this SVG, but let's see. Yeah, let's try to increase this to height of 5. And this doesn't change anything. Let's add height 5 here. Or maybe padding bottom of 1. No, this doesn't help. Alright, let's see then if I remove the okay, so there is padding or margin on the top and the bottom. So let's try to add it padding top 1. No, not here. What if I remove the block part? Okay, so we have this errors. The only thing that is confusing me is the sizing. This is not cool. Then we have this. Okay, and this is smaller. What if I do like 7 here? Okay, then this is height of 7. Okay, this has some padding on the top and the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, padding from the top and the bottom is 2. Let's do the same for the arrows. Padding Y of 2. Okay, this kind of worked. Margin top of 2. No. I will put back inline block. And now I will add some padding top of 2. Let's see. Okay, I will do just relative position. Relative and top 1. Okay, now it is better. And on the whole div, let's do margin right of 2. Yeah, a little better. And also relative and position and the top of 1. Now we don't need this. Alright, so the next thing is that we need to make those arrows clickable. So when someone clicks on them, we need to update the votes on a specific command. All right, so to do this, let's create a function here inside. Function handle vote up, and same for the vote down, handle vote down. And this is also a function. All right, and now on those buttons, I will add on click handle vote up, and the second will be vote down. Okay, so when someone votes up or votes down, what do we want to do? We want to send a vote request to our API. So to do this, let's create another function called send vote, and it will use Axios. So we need to import Axios from Axios, and then we will send a post to HTTP localhost, and I think it was, let's see, what was the let's see, what was the, okay, it's 4000. The port is 4000. So back to voting, port 4000 slash, and then the URL will be slash vote slash the ID of the command. So we need to have it inside our properties. So here will be plus props and command ID. We don't need those. And then the direction. So vote up will be 1 and vote down will be -1. And we can send it as a text, vote up or down, or as a number. Let's do text, so const, let's do here direction, default will be up, so let's do plus direction. I will put the URL here so it will be cleaner, and then we have data. Do we need any data? Does it need to be post at all? I don't think so. I think it can be get. So then we have this with credentials that we need to send. So we send the session cookie, and then we will have some response data. So response, and let's say in the response we will get the refreshed number. So to do this, let's just console log response data. Okay, now we need to fix API endpoint for this slash vote. Alright, so maybe let's put this send vote into use. So handle vote up will do send vote direction up, and this will do send vote direction down. Alright, so now let's fix the API endpoint. Back to server JS, and here is our express app. So now we need to create new endpoint for voting, but I think we can split it a little bit. So I will actually create a new file here called voting routes.js. All right, so the server.js will not be that huge, and here we want to import express from express, and let's define our router. Router will be express router. Okay, and then we'll export the default router, and inside router we can define our endpoints here that are related to voting. So the first is get endpoint at /voting/vote/ then there is this param command ID, then there is a direction. All right, and okay, so then we have a request and response. Let's do like this: request, response. We'll have a callback with request and response. All right, and in response, let's just send a JSON saying okay, and let's see if it works. So inside our network tab, let's click the arrow up. Yeah, we are sending the app, and we get not found, and this is because we are not using this file inside our server.js. So let's go to the top, and here let's app use and voting routes. Okay, so this has been imported for me. Alright, so now if I click arrow up again, I get different error. Okay, undefined app. Undefined. Okay, this is because we are not sending the comment ID. So we have /vote/ but this should work anyway, right? Even with undefined as a text. Let's see. Okay, I think that this one failed, and this is because we need to do voting routes.js. Now if we click arrow up, it will say okay, but it doesn't work. First we need to fix this undefined. So inside our voting.js, we are sending props comment ID from props, but we are not getting it. So let's see. Inside comments.js, we are using this voting component, but we are not passing the comment ID. So let's do this. Comment ID, and this will be comment underscore ID. Okay, now I'll clear this and try to vote again. Okay, so now we have the ID. Now to actually send the vote, let's go back to voting routes. All right, and to send the vote, what do we need to do? We need to get the current user and save a vote to a collection of votes. All right, let's see. I will go back to my terminal and let's do mongo and use Reddit, and let's do db create collection votes. Okay, exit. And then we have also, not inside client but inside API where our Express app is, we have models and we have comment and user. Now I will create something similar for votes. So it will be singular here. We'll copy the comment, new file, vote.js, and let's see. We need to rename this to vote, and the schema will be, yes, we need author as a string, so this will be our username, title no, and body no, posted at, well, we don't need timestamps, right? Do we want to use timestamps for when the vote was clicked? No, not for now. But we need ID of the post or comment. So comment ID will be object ID and it will be required. And something more that we will need is actually direction. So direction will be type number and required to true, or should be integer. No, number. Alright, so okay, I think this should work now. So back to voting routes. So first here we want to get the username of who clicked the button, currently logged in user, and we have a function for this in server.js. Here on the top we have get user from token, but we need to have it also inside our voting routes. So I will put it to a separate file and let's call it user functions.js, and here export function get user from token, and we need secret here. So I will copy secret to here, all right, then I will try to use it and see if it works. So inside our voting routes I want to use get user from token, and token is inside our request cookies, I guess, token. Let's see inside our, yes, request cookies token. Okay, after we are getting the user, we have user info, and let's send response JSON with the user info. Let's see if this works. So back to the network tab. If I click up, it failed. We don't know why. Let's see here. Cannot find, okay. That's because it needs to be .js. Let's try again. Still some errors. Okay, here inside, this should be user.js. Now let's try again. Okay, it worked. So we have the user information, email, username, and stuff. All right, so back to user routes. So we have user info, as you can see in this request. Here, username. So as the const user name, we get it from user info. All right, and then we want to create a vote. So let's vote from here, and as the const vote equals new vote. Is it this way? Let's see in serverless. New comment, yes, and we can put information inside. So author will be username. We could do user info username, and direction. So direction can be up or down. This is up. But inside our database it will be +1 or -1. Let's see how it looks in vote. Okay, it's a number. So direction, if request params direction is up, then it's 1, otherwise it will be -1. Is it something else we need to put? Yes, comment ID, very important. Comment ID is inside our params, so request params comment ID. Do we need to put it as a constructor, something as no, so it can be a string. Right, so we create a vote, then we do save, and then we want to do response JSON okay, or catch if it fails, response JSON not okay. Right, now let's try to vote. Up. Well, it says okay. I can't believe in this, but it says okay. Right. So the next thing is, instead of sending OK or not OK, we want to send the number of or the total vote counting. We need to count all the votes for a specific comment. So let's get rid of this catch, and here let's count the votes for a specific post. Maybe I'll create a separate function for this, or maybe not. And let's do vote and count documents, and the filter will be comment ID will be request params comment ID, and that will be, that's all. Right, save. But after we counted the votes, we want to run then, and we'll have the count. No, we don't want to count all the votes. We want to get all the votes. So same as we do for slash comments, we want to find all votes. So let's do find for this specific comment ID, and after this we get comment votes, and we need to check which one is +1 and which one is -1. So let's do let total equals 0, and then comment votes for each. Let's do vote, and inside each vote we have direction. So total will be plus the direction, vote.direction. And then we want to send it as a JSON. So response JSON total. And let's see if it works. If I click up, I get 2. Now I get 3. Now I get 4. Okay, so now the problem is that I can click it multiple times, and I need to fix so one user can vote on one comment only once. So first I want to fix this number 6, and I want to know which comments I have already voted on. So let's start with the 6. It should be 0 on most of the comments. So I will create a new route here. It will be get, and I want to get voting total, so total numbers of the votes for a specific range of comments. So slash vote total, or maybe votes total, and then comment ID. No, not one comment ID, it should be a specific range of comments. But yeah, let's make it this way, comments IDs. Okay, then we get this request and response thingy. Request response, and this one seems to be done, so I close this one. Okay, so we want to get numbers for all those comments. To do this, we have this comments IDs, and let's say this will be a string with all the IDs, but this can be too long, right? So let's do posts from this instead. Okay, so let's get comments IDs. Comments IDs. So this we will get it from request body. Maybe not. Is this request body? Let's see in post here. Yes, it's request body. Request body comments IDs. And we can shorten this to this. Okay, so we have comments IDs sent using post. Now what we want to do? Now we want to count the post for those comments. So let's do vote find, and here we'll do comment ID, and here I think it's like this. Or can I do like this? Okay, let's try this way. Comments IDs. Then we will have the result that we want to send it as a JSON. Let's do it like this for now. And now let's try to use this votes total. So to do this, let's go back to comments inside our client, so React app, where we get all the comments from here. Right, this is not the correct one. I'm looking for comments.js. All right, so here we have comments, where let's see, where is it used? Okay, we have comment.js, and I think this is the top comment. Here we have the post, and there we have the comments. So this is the post in our app, and this part is comments. And here we are refreshing comments and doing other stuff. And here I want to also fetch the voting totals. So let's see. Here we have use effect, refresh comments. Let's create a function to refresh votes, and this will be Axios post and HTTP localhost 4000 votes totals, and then the IDs, comments IDs that we don't have, yet have, and then we need to pass with credentials to true, or do we? We don't need to know what user is it. So let's do then, and then we want to get the result. or response. And let's do a console log with the response data. Okay, and now it says comments IDs is not defined, and that is true. We have comments here. Let's see, refresh comments. Okay, so we want the const comments IDs is an empty array. Then it will work. Okay, so comment is this comment, and comments are those comments. So we want to fetch total for both this and those. So here I will do an array, and first will be comment._id, and then we want to have all IDs of the comments. So let's do comments map, and from comment I want comment ID, and I hope it will work like this. Let's make it proper naming here, or no, I will do C because we have comment here. All right, so let's see if this API endpoint will run. I will open network tab. All right, let's clear everything, and let's open this one. So we have these 3 requests. We have comments. We have well, comments again. Let's make this one bigger. So the first one is fetching comments for this specific post. Then we have we are fetching this post, and then we are fetching comments again. Okay, I don't know why we are doing this, but let's see again. Let's clear everything. Okay, we are refreshing because of, I don't know, I will check it later. But we are not using this refresh votes, so I will add it somewhere here in use effect, refresh votes, like this. Okay, so totals gives 4. So let's go to, yeah, we have votes, total. Let's do totals, and let's try again. Yeah, so totals gives 200, as you can see here. And now let's see what do we have in the response. We get an empty array. Okay, let's go to both totals. Yes, we are already here. Right, let's try to do like this and see if this will work. No, it does not. There doesn't need to be like this. Okay, so this one failed. Okay, let's try again. Empty. Let's see what do we have here in the comments IDs. Comments IDs. Let's open this one again. Okay, so it looks we are not sending anything. No, we do. Okay, but we are sending as a post data, not a specific. We don't have any specific name for this post param. So back to here, refresh comments, refresh votes, and let's do like this. Okay, now we are sending comments IDs and then the array of IDs. Let's see what do we get as a response. We get the same array. So let's change it to the result. And let's try to open again. Let's check totals. Okay, so we get the votes. If I vote down and open again, let's check totals. Yeah, we have one with direction -1. Right, so now we want to count all of those. Let's do this. Instead of result, let's do votes. And to count votes, what do we want to do? We want to actually do votes for each, and for each vote we want to increase the total that we don't have yet, but for a specific comment. Let's do like this. Let and comments totals, and this will be an empty object, and here let's do comments totals and vote comment ID. Here we add or subtract the vote direction. Okay, then we can do response.json comments totals. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, we get comments totals. But yeah, we have only one. Let's also add votes. Okay, I think that the problem is that if it's undefined, then we want to set it as 0. Now let's check it again. It's empty. Let's see why. Okay, now it should not be. Let's see totals here. Why is it empty? Comments totals is empty. But if I fake add something, then it works. That's super weird. What if I console log it here? Comments totals. Then it works every second. Every second. Okay, if I remove it. Okay, so sometimes we are sending totals without any. Okay, I know why. We need to fix that inside the comment.js. Here we are refreshing votes only if we have any comments like this. So here we are doing refreshing comments. Let's put refresh votes inside the refresh comments. Let's refresh votes when comments change. So use effect. If comments change, then we want to do refresh votes. So now let's check totals. Comments totals, yes, 8 on this one. And I will click a few times down. And let's open this one again. Let's check totals. We have 4. All right. So now let's display the numbers. So here we have a comments. And we also want to have the votes. So let's do const comments votes and set comments votes. Use state. Default will be null. And after we have refreshed comments, let's do not comments, the votes. Let's do set comments votes to response data, and we want to have comments totals. I'm thinking that I want to also know if the user have clicked on this. Oh, it's comments totals. So I want comments totals and votes and so on. So I think I will rename this one to just /votes like this, and inside my voting routes I will do just /votes, and I don't need those votes here. But I want to get the user votes also in this one request. So to do this, I will run this function get user from token, but I don't have token here, and to get it I need to send it. So here in refresh votes, let's do inside coughing with credentials to true. And now back to voting routes, we have the token that we can use. So it's request cookies token, and then we have user info that we can use. Let's see what okay, so this can also fail, and we need to handle it, right? Maybe not. So I guess this user info can be empty, but never mind. I will put now everything here inside, some spacing. And now we have this comments totals, but I want also to have user votes. So let user votes, and this will be an empty object from the beginning, but then we get all the votes for all those comments, and we want to know which of those are clicked or voted on by the currently logged in user. So let's do for each. And with each vote, we want to know if vote author is the same as user info dot username, because if it's the same, then we know that this vote is clicked by the user that we are logged in as. Alright, let's put it inside the user votes then. User votes, let's make it an array. No, it will be an object, and here we will do vote and comment ID and the direction, vote direction. And we also want to send it inside our JSON, so user votes. I don't know why I refresh, but well, now let's see the votes. User votes, we have -1 on this one. Actually, we clicked several times, but we have forgot to prevent it. So let's fix the now the colors of this array of these arrows. So we have user votes that we can save. So inside our comment.js, we have comments votes that we are not passing yet. Comments votes. Or do we want to pass it? Let's see. Do we have a context here that we can use? Maybe. Root comment context provider. We have refresh comments. Let's pass it using context. So comment votes. And or I'm thinking, is it better to use context for this or props? Context, because we don't want to drill all the props here. So comment votes, and we also want to have user votes. No, it's not, it's comments. Comments votes, comments votes, totals. Let's name it comments, totals, set comments, totals, and also here totals, comments, totals. And another thing will be user votes. So let's create a state for this. User votes, and set user votes. It can be null as the default. It doesn't matter. Set user votes, and here we'll do, well, sorry, not here, it's here. Set user votes response data, and user votes, like this. All right, now let's try to get actual numbers. So to do this, let's go to comments, and let's also pass this user votes. So inside comments, we are sending this context of comments totals. So let's open comments, and we have this voting here. Let's go inside voting. Okay, so let's use this context here. Let's import use context from React, and let's do const root comment info use context, and I don't remember how it is called. What is the name for this? Root comment context. Okay, root comment context. So we have this root comment info now, and here instead of 6, let's try to do root comment info find. We have the comment ID, right? Maybe we should hold it here. Const total equals here we'll have comments totals find comment total we want to find by specific key, so we can do just like this, and here props comment ID or 0. Okay, now I have zeros on here But here we have 4, so total works. Now we want to know if an arrow is already clicked. So for this, it should be the bottom arrow that is clicked. All right, but I maybe want to remove all the votes. So db votes, was it remove? Author, and I think it's test2. 14 removed. Okay, now everything should be 0. Yes. Now it should be 1. Let's see. Yeah, now it's 1. But let's highlight this arrow up if it's clicked. So how do we know if any of the arrows is clicked? Let's get the user vote. So const user vote, root command info, user votes. Is it user votes or user votes? Let's see. User votes. Okay. And props comment ID or null. Okay, so user vote can be +1 or -1. So now if it's +1, then it's arrow up, and if it's -1, it's arrow down. Okay, we have a lot of classes. On the arrow buttons. Let's create a function that will return the class names. Let's create a function that will return a arrow button. Let's do direction. That can be up or down. Default will be up. All right. Let's call it a direction name. All right, and let's take this one. And let's do here if direction name is up, then we want to return this. Otherwise, we want to return this. And here let's do arrow button down, and here arrow button up. Yeah, so I think class names are the same for the buttons. So let's do let class names, and let's get all of those. And here class names, and also here class names, and we can put it like this. Okay, and if and direction, let's get direction number first. Const direction number. If direction name is up, then it's 1, otherwise it's -1. Okay, so now if direction number is the same as user vote, so if direction number is the same as user vote, then we know that it's clicked. Let's see why this one is. All right. Then we know it's clicked. So we can do class names, and we can add some class name. So let's do maybe text red. Okay, it should be plus equals. Let's maybe add border 1, border red, or maybe this one. Let's do border white and border 2. Okay, so almost works. Instead of the border, we want to change the color of the array. Do we have this color somewhere? Yes, we have this color here. Let's change tailwind config. We have those colors. Let's do orange. Reddit orange. And let's copy this one. And same, I don't know if it's orange red, so I'll copy this color on both. Okay, now for the voting, we want to do text Reddit red. So now if I open one of those, let's refresh the whole app. Let's open this one, and it breaks. And it's fetching like crazy. Something is wrong. Let's see why. Let's go back to command. And let's pause this. So if comments changes, let's do console log. Let's if comments length changes. Okay, so now let's go back to voting. We have this Reddit red color. text Reddit text darker, text Reddit red. This should work. Let's change border white. Okay, the problem is that we have two texts, so I need to put it here, and this one will be removed and put here, and also this hover part will be also moved here. And let's remove the border part from here. Okay, if I hover it's white, but only on this one. This one is clicked. Okay, so now we have those arrows highlighted. Now if I click this one, it doesn't refresh, but let's make it refresh. So inside send vote, let's run root command info, refresh, we want to refresh comments totals, and I think we are not passing this information, this context thing. So we have refresh comments, refresh votes. Yeah, let's pass refresh votes here. Refresh votes. And let's call it here refresh votes. Okay, so now if I click this one, everything refreshes. So that is cool. Now I want to fix that if I click on an arrow, so I do send vote, I need to check if I already have voted, and we will do this inside our API Express app. So back to voting routes, and so here we are creating a new vote. Where is it? Here. I will close this and open this. Here we are creating a new vote, new document in our voting votes collection. But if there's an existing vote, if I have already clicked, I want to remove it and create a new one. So, well, either I want to update from up to down or down to up, or I want to remove it. So if I click the up again, I want my vote to be removed. Alright, so I need to check for existing vote. So before I create a vote, I want to find an existing vote. So to do this, I will do vote find, where command ID is request params command ID, and author is user info username. Then can I just remove all of those if I create a new one? Now if I toggle find one. So here will be my vote. And what do I want to do with my vote? Well, if my vote, the direction of my vote is the same direction that I click, then I want just to remove my vote. Or should I create a separate endpoint for this? And here I would just remove everything. And I will create a separate endpoint to unvote. Yeah, here I just remove everything, remove all my votes for a specific comment, and then I create a new vote. So let's just put everything here inside, removing my existing votes. And here creating my new vote. And then I want to have also unvote for a specific comment. So unvote can be actually a vote without any direction. So removing all my votes. Well, we can do this here. If there's no direction, so direction can be up or down here, and if it's none of those, so request params direction, and this is -1, then we will stop here and we'll do response JSON true. Well, I think we on those totals are used. Those totals are not used. I will do response JSON true. Also here. Alright, so if I click on an existing, then I want to send a vote with comment ID but no direction, or direction unvote. So back to voting, and the direction we have here. Here we have handle vote up and handle vote down, and send vote. I will get those constants here, and then inside my send vote I know if I have +1 or -1 here. So let's do const direction number. If direction is up, it's 1, otherwise it's -1. And if direction number is the same as user vote, so if we click the arrow that is already clicked, then we want to change the direction to unvote. We could actually rename this to action or something more specific, but let's try this one for now. So I will clear the network tab. Yeah, unvote. Yeah, it worked. So we'll click this one, it gets 1. If I click it again, it gets 0. If I click this one, -1. And if I click this one, it's +1. -1, +1, +1, -1, -1. Well, I think it works. We are logged in as test2. Let's try with test, just test. This login pop-up is really small. Let's fix it. I think it's off model. Yes. And let's see. 1, 2. Let's remove this part of it. For the large screens, it will be 1/4. Yeah, now it's better. So let's try with test. Login. Okay, now back to something breaks. And I think it breaks inside voting. Let's see again. If I click on this one, yes, cannot read property. Of null. Comments, totals, alright. Let's go back to comment and let's see how we can fix it. Well, let's maybe let's put it inside here. Refresh comments, refresh votes. Let's see now how it will work. Well, still it's sending requests like crazy. Let's try again. Still the same problem. Refresh votes. Okay, so wait a second. Let's refresh. And if I open this one, well, it breaks. Cannot read of this of null. Okay, let's try to fix it. Comments totals. So this. Let's check if this is inside the. Let's get comments totals and user totals outside. Const comments totals and user votes from root comment info. And then we can shorten those two. And we can check if, let's get comment ID also. Const comment ID from props. And we can get rid of those two. And we can check if comment ID is in comments totals. Then we can do comments totals of this, otherwise 0. And we can do the same with user votes. So let's do comment ID in user votes, otherwise 0. Let's see if it works now. No, and we have like millions of requests still. Right, let's fix it. I'll refresh. Clear the console. And now let's see where it started. Okay, we can skip this one. If I comment this part, will this still be a problem? Yes. inside our voting here, send vote. Let's see. Cannot use in operator to search for object in null. Okay, JavaScript check if object has key. If key in. Okay, so this is correct. But maybe we also want to know if it's an object. So user votes and let's see. Okay, does it work now? Let's fix the indentation here and back to comment. Let's uncomment this part. All right, and now let's see. Can we make it? Oh, okay. But even here, I want to take it like 3/4 of the screen. Comment. Comment model here. Here. Only if it's large, then it will be half of the screen. Otherwise, it will be 3/4. Okay, so let's see. We are not getting totals for this one, and I think we should. Let's see inside the voting routes. Here we are voting, and here we are getting votes. I think I have voted on this one, but I will vote with this user, and it doesn't work. Is it because I have commented the some functionality here in send vote? Let's see. Up. Okay, we get true. Then for the votes, I think I want to display some information here. I see that I have voted on this one. But why I don't see anything? Okay, I vote up, then I get this user votes. Okay, and I want to see the information then. User vote. Okay, it's 0 here, but it should be 1. So those functions here, or this functionality, user votes, is not working, and common ID in user votes. So I get 0. User votes, comments, totals. Let's see if we are sending those inside comment. Not comment model, inside this comment. Comments, totals, user votes. Comments, totals, user votes. Comments, totals, user votes. Okay, I will console log them. It will be a lot of user logging, but let's check comment ID. Oh wow. Ah, okay. Here is the issue. It should be like this. Now everything will just work. Yes, and it does. Okay, so I see that I have clicked on this one, but why is it 0? Let's console log again. Comments, totals, and user votes, and comment ID. And let's see. So we have for 50 at the end, we don't have any votes. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Okay, so other user have clicked -1 on this one and -1 on this one. I will refresh everything, open again. So I'm logged in as test, and test2 user have clicked -1 on those two. So if I click this one, it's -2. If I click this one, it's 0, because I give 1 + 1 and the other user gives -1, and it's 0 in total. Alright, I think it works. Test to vote, and let's give also -1 from the other user. Test2. Yeah, we are logged in. Test to vote. Yeah, everything works. Alright, so thanks for today. I think in the next stream we'll have different communities, not only web dev, but so we can switch to r/webdev or r/javascript or wherever, not just web dev. or we can also fix the search functionality. So but don't forget to click the like button, so I know that you want me to continue with this project. Please leave some comment. What do you think? What you want me to continue with? What extra features do you want to see? And for today, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.